travelling in a fried out combi.
Welcome to another episode of Striker Chat. I'm down here in Singleton, here at Lana Muay Thai, with Andrew Nelson, coach of Muay Thai Australia. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's fine.
That's fine. That'll do.
Yeah.
How are you, mate?
I'm good. I'm good. IFMA's it's been around a long time, but it started out as the International Federation of Muay Thai Amateurs, and then it had under the banner was World Muay Thai Council, and that's since been amalgamated into one Muay Thai International Federation of Muay Thai Associations. So WMC comes under that banner, and so does many other associations throughout Europe and the rest of the world.
This upcoming event, it's this one. This one. Whereabouts is it? And it's not for juniors and seniors. It's only for the seniors or the adults.
Yeah, the events became too big to have them together, and that was many years ago. So they have been separating them.
Going to this one.
Just this event alone, there's 1,500 athletes registered, and they usually have a little bit of an explosion in the last couple of weeks. So the fact that it's in Europe, I guess you get a lot more Europeans.
Whereabouts in Europe is it?
It's in Greece.
It's in Greece, okay.
In Patras, and they want to take it right back to the origin of the Olympic Games. So
wow.
Being,
that's a nice little segue when we talk about that.
Yeah. So the IFMA body wanted to sort of get in touch with the Greek organising committee, and the organising committee said, we want you down in Patras, where the origin of the Olympic Games is.
So where the that's nice.
Well, it's pretty cool. A part of this trip is on rest day, which is the day before finals. So it's pretty much any athlete that isn't in the finals for their division, they'll be hopefully heading down to the ruins, and they're going to get a bunch of people in traditional dress to do a white crew.
Oh, really?
So they're looking for a big, impressive sort of scene there, I think.
When's the juniors? When are the juniors?
That's in September.
In September? And that's in Thailand as well, isn't it?
It's in Thailand this year, yeah. So that's, of course, attracted a lot more attention from Aussies, because it's nice and close. Like last year was in Turkey, and it's expensive to travel to Europe, and of course it's all self-funded, so it's hard to muster enough support to get them there. But we had 14 athletes attend Turkey last year, and we did quite well. We came home with 7 medals, and the guys all held their head up high, whether they'd made the finals or they lost in the earlier rounds. They all held themselves in pretty competitive form. So this year, looking like we've got about 28 juniors lined up to go to.
Is that all across the nation as well? Obviously, they've got to qualify.
And for the first time since I've been national coach, we've actually not been able to accommodate some people for having too many in that division. And of course, national championships is to compete for those divisions. So any divisions that were not competed for at national championships go to a second round selection. And so coaches have submitted athletes that are interested in particular positions, and we've had multiple applicants for positions that are either already filled or the same person, same weight. So we've actually had, for the first time since I've been involved, like I said, had to turn a couple of people away, which is really sad. Oh, wow. But obviously that sort of process is going to develop a stronger team as we go. So this is a plan.
I mean, there's more people, more talent pool, more people, bigger talent pool.
That's right.
Goes to show the popularity of Muay Thai now. With all these junior competitors now, it's good. It's good for the sport. It's
and anybody that's that wants a trip to Thailand, that's a good time. Go and have a look at the calibre of the young athletes that are around the world, because it shocks many people. I think getting our young Australian athletes with good attitudes and good work ethics to these events, and then coming home, lifts the whole environment where they originate from, and it lifts the calibre of the sport 100%. But getting there really changes the kids' perception on what calibre should be all about. It's not a backyard hit out and you have a bit of a punch up with your cousins at Christmas time. It's high quality athletes with a proper program and proper nutrition and good quality coaching, and it's a very, very positive and professional environment.
A good segue to get these young amateur fighters into professional and into that.
Absolutely. I mean, I actually think, as a coach, I think kids should be allowed to play every sport under the sun up until sort of 10, 11, 12 years of age. But we all know, and anyone that's been around for a while, the kids that have been at it right through their formative years and then into their adulthood, they really find a different level. We saw it in Thailand for a long time. We see it in many other sports. And our sport is getting to a point where we have that now too. And we're seeing some very, very high calibre athletes that have grown from right through their formative years, their teenage years, and they're becoming high-level professionals and performing on high-level platforms like RWS and One Championship.
This is WA Muay Thai Media. Let's talk about the WA athletes that are representing Australia in the IFMAs. I mean, with the adults, who are the athletes that are going across this for the two groups?
We have, we've got a national team of 8. We had 9, and we've got some exciting young talent from the East Coast, and Zoe Putorak, who's been many times before, multiple-time gold medalist. Shannon Gardiner is our West Aussie girl. She took out the gold medal in under-23 class last year.
WBC and WMC?
That's in the professional rankings.
I've got a question.
So at IFMA last year, she went in the under-23s, which is replaced B class to give our A class, our younger athletes, a chance to develop from juniors. And she still qualifies for that class, but she's gunning for the Open A class gold medal this year, and I think she's in form to take it. So that's exciting.
Nice.
And then we've got Damon, who's multiple, couple of times finalist as a junior, and yet to make the final as an adult in the A class. So he's going to make amends for that this year. And Sam Gardiner, who did two campaigns last year, one to Bangkok and one to Turkey for the IFMA events, and did really, really well both times. So his work ethic in the gym is contagious too. So the boys are really the boys in the
they are looking good. Obviously they've already trained this morning and everything like that, and they are looking world class. They are looking fit. The boys. Yeah,
I'm very happy. The professionalism that they're bringing to their training. And Reggie or James.
Oh, Reggie, there you go. Another big boy.
He's only had 5 fights, but he's yet to take a loss, and he's ready for the international competition.
How's he coming along, mate? He's a relatively new fighter for you, isn't he?
No, he is. Yeah, as far as the competition goes, but since he was a kid, he's come in there every summer. He's always been a footballer, a high-level football player.
He's very athletic.
He is an athlete.
Can move.
He knows how to look after himself and treat himself as an athlete, which is massive bonus for me because we can just focus on the Thai boxing. Every summer since he was a kid, he's come here and maintained his fitness through the off season. So he's fit for footy. And this year he's decided he wants to have a red hot crack at Thai boxing and see how far he can go. So he started competing last year, carried on this year. He won a gold medal at national championships to win his spot.
That's right. Yeah.
So he'll be in the 86 to 91 kilo class.
Big boy. He is a big boy.
Yeah, but he's an athlete and he moves quite well. So I'm hoping that'll work well for him against some of the bigger units over there. I've seen the lighter classes under 86. They're very tall. They're quite athletic and that sort of thing too. So sometimes they're not quite as mobile as what Reggie is at the 91 kilo class, but it seems to be Aussies, we get to the Worlds and everyone seems bigger than us anyway. So we just got to take that tenacious Aussie model and let it fly.
It's IFMA, so it says amateur. But then you've got Damon, professional fighter. Then Shannon Gardiner, world champion, professional fighter, and also Sam's a professional fighter now, isn't he?
He is now, yeah. Zoe Putorak as well, very much a professional fighter and world champion in her own right too. So multiple times at IFMA as a junior and now as a senior. And then we learned the hard way a long time ago. It's not amateur at IFMA. Yeah. Some countries have the luxury of being fully financed by their government.
Yes.
They want medals. They will send their best top-level pros, and all their job is in the country of origin is to eat, sleep, train, and win medals. And they get paid to do that. Like some countries will give rewards of $20,000, $30,000 US for a medal for their athletes. So it just shows how impressive it is for our athletes to go with nothing more than a pat on the back and a hearty hi-ho and go and compete with the best in the world. And they do very, very well. So any support they get from the community is always appreciated, but we're relying on that here from Australia, whereas some athletes around the world, they don't have to do that. So they are professional. Thailand will send pros, Russia, Ukraine, they'll send pros. Most of the European countries, they're top-level professionals that turn up to these events. Yeah.
It just got announced that Muay Thai is going to be a demonstration sport in the Olympics.
Yeah, I mean, there's some technicalities there. I only just learned yesterday that demonstration sports aren't a thing anymore. And this is why we've been superseded a couple of times as a sport, hoping to get in there as a demonstration sport, and then the host country has kind of changed their mind at the last minute and put another sport in there, or decided that they are more likely to get medals from another sport. So the demonstration sport, as far as I understand from the IOC, has been removed, and they are creating a different avenue. So the technicality of it is Muay Thai has been invited to put on an event in correlation to the Olympics in Athens this year, which is super exciting, with the permission of the IOC, and to raise awareness of Muay Thai in the district, in the area of the Olympics. So it'll be invitational. So the athletes need to have had runs on the board, need to have performed with IFMA, high IFMA.
So performed at tournaments, IFMA tournaments. You just can't come along and say, I've got a belt.
Yeah, I'm really, really good, believe me. Give us a crack, because we'll be lucky, I think, if we get more than 2, maybe 3 athletes, by the looks of things, invited to go and perform.
So how does the format go with the tournaments, though? Is it like over...
They trialled at World Combat Games last year, they tried an Olympic-style format, which I think is what they're going to push towards. Genuinely speaking, when we go to IFMA events, you lose and you are out. There is no question or query. That means they give away 2 bronze medals. So one of the qualms with the IOC is... many countries winning many medals that don't usually make the medal tally, and then of course the extra medals from 2 bronzes being given out, and then of course weight classes per gender. So there's a lot of medals that they have to consider that'll go into the medal tally. So realistically, I think they'll probably select a few really, really popular high caliber weight classes, and they might have 3 or 4 in each gender, and then they'll have invitationals. So they'll try and include as many Olympic countries or member countries to get the best athletes there, to put a genuine showcase of how high caliber athletes are.
But to get Muay Thai on the Olympics, on a world stage like that, it's going to be good. It's great for the sport.
And it is really, really good, because I know we've talked about it for years. We've been a part of the Olympic body for many, many years, more than 15 years.
I've been pushing this for a while now.
A long time, and it's been quite costly, and a lot of work at the top level for the guys to get there. So there's been a lot of talk and a lot of conjecture and a lot of naysaying. So to actually be there and to actually be involved in the Olympic event is very exciting.
Will we perform well against these big countries?
Oh, I think Australia always performs well, especially as a per capita comparison. You know, we only have 27 million people in the country. America, for instance, has 360 million odd people. We went far behind the Americans at last year's World Championships, seniors.
But they would have taken a bigger team, though, wouldn't they?
They took a bigger team, and they were actually awarded the most improved. So they got more medals than they ever had before. So America is starting to make headway in Muay Thai, which is exciting. And then there's other countries that are getting funded by their government and looked after, like the Philippines and Vietnam, who and they're starting to develop some good athletes too. You know, the Middle East has some massive support. UAE are producing good athletes. They've got a lot of financial backing. Apparently some of the higher ups there love the sport to bits, and they are putting a lot of money and a lot of investment in there. So the UAE athletes are doing very well. Saudi's starting to come onto the scene. Morocco, of course, Turkey. These all countries that are always competitive with huge.
But you wouldn't associate those countries with Muay Thai, would you? Really?
Well, when you get to IFMA, you very quickly do. Wow, even the Turkish on one are starting to say, hand up and say, hey, look, our guys can bang, and they're turning heads. So good on them. And their sporting body in Turkey is huge. They had 700 kids turn up just for tryouts for their national team.
That's a lot.
So we got that, and we've got Russia has always been strong. Thailand has always been strong. Ukraine, even though with the turmoil, they're still sending strong competitive athletes, to these events. So you never actually know. You got a few top level guys you got to watch out for that they've got a reputation, they've done it before, and you go, okay, we can do homework on them. But then there's always the dark horse that you don't know, that's got a massive amount of talent, that's just been competing in their own country, and they turn up there with the bit in their teeth, and they bite down, and they just work their way through divisions, and you go, wow, where did this guy come from? So it's very exciting. You never know what you're going to get, and a lot of it's down to the draw.
That's the beauty of the tournament, isn't it?
It really is.
You've got to, as a coach, you have to get your athletes tuned right, or that timing right.
Yeah, I think one of the beauties of that is, as a coach, is you get back to the raw basics of having your athlete focus on what they can control, and that's them.
Okay,
not focusing on your opponent, not over focusing on, oh, they're going to do this or they're going to do that. You don't know.
No.
So what you do know is you. So you work on you and you make sure your game is good, and then you're ready to compete against the top in the world, and you throw your hat in the ring and see how you go.
And our chances for medals, obviously Shannon's a massive chance.
I think she's gunning for that A class gold medal this year, and I think she's in good nick mentally and physically, so her chances are very good, and I think Zoe Putorak as well, once again, always very, very hard to beat. They struggle to find someone that she'll compete with, They had a Turkish girl last year, and there was a lot of conjecture about those two competing, and after a little bit of a mismatch, a girl misweighed, and then they didn't compete in the final, so there was all this hearsay and conjecture, and then they did meet at World Games, and Zoe put her to rights. So the question was answered quite clearly, and that was awesome for Australia. And I doubt whether we're going to see anyone be able to take either of those girls out.
Yeah. But women's Muay Thai in Australia, we've got some bangers.
And this is. These girls have both been juniors all the way through IFMA. They developed their craft. Out of Australia, getting that high level of competition is what changes your perception. So both those girls came through the IFMAs as juniors. Yeah. They developed their craft through going to IFMA and getting that high level competition, and now they're both world champions. Yeah. So this is a really definitive and clear path out of Australia, isolated little Australia, to get yourself in amongst top level world class pros, So
awesome.
It's really good.
And the boys, have they got any chances? You just don't
100%.
know. Yeah?
No, 100%. That all the boys always have chances, but the thing is, it comes down to luck of the draw often.
Yeah.
I think all of our boys have got chance, and it just comes down to whether we get a good draw, if we can get them through injury free, if they can maintain their mentality, to back it up, to fight day after day, 2 or 3 days in a row, to recompose that neural chemistry is actually really, really difficult to do.
Control what you can control.
You have to win, and if that means you've got to burn your tanks, then what are you going to do about tomorrow? You worry about tomorrow. Yeah. But the reality is, sometimes you get to tomorrow or the third day and it's go, oh man, there's nothing in the tank. Yeah. And you've got to find it somewhere else to get to that next level, Aussie boys do a good job of doing that, and they're always competitive. But we don't get enough of that tournament style format to really condition ourselves away. Some of the Europeans do. So.
Well, they've always got tournaments over there, and then obviously there's countries, they border each other, and there's so many tournaments, there's so many opportunities for these fighters in Europe to
they drive for a few hours, they cross several borders,
Jeez, we drive for a few hours, we're in the same place, we're in the same state.
Yeah, just to pick up your mail.
We've got the juniors in September, and we're going to be doing a lot of fundraising. So just keep an eye out on WA Muay Thai Media, keep an eye out on a lot of the Muay Thai Australia pages as well for fundraisers that are coming up. There'll be a lot more coming up through there.
Yeah, sure. And it's the travel is to be taken into account, flights. I mean, this Greece trip alone is over $4,000 per athlete to get them there to compete.
And then you got to pay registration fees as well, don't you?
And your time away from work and all the rest.
Yeah, of course. So there's a lot of money.
It's the time that they can't earn and the time that they put into it beforehand.
They love the sport.
Well, if the passion's not there, nor will the calibre be. So
yes.
Good,
mate. Good luck for the tournament for IFMAs in Greece. Hope you bring home some medals.
Yeah, we just want that bling.
Yeah, get that bling.
Get some boys up there. Be good.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Bhoondi.
Thank you, Andrew. Cheers. Didn't record.
You better take cover.